Hello, welcome to a new document understanding video. So, this is not a part of the advanced document understanding series that I published. This is a separate video that's focusing on one of the very latest releases that UiPath did on document understanding. So, in this video, we'll focus on the new classification features that comes in with the combination of AI with document understanding. So one of the latest release is uh, UiPath has introduced AI-Fabric classification module to classify documents using AI models. So for that, what we can do is you need to do few things. So ideally, I would assume that you already know how to use AI Fabric and you already know the basics of document understanding and how to classify. So to do that, the first thing I need to do is I need to so basically what happens here is you upload a data set to AI Fabric and there you train the AI model that UiPath has introduced, and using that trained model you do the classification without using the keyword based classifier or intelligent keyword based classifier. So why they have this is because there are some instances where either the keyword based classifier or the intelligent keyword classifier does not really work when it comes to various dynamic document layouts and various different ways of representing the same type of document with a lot of different other letters and words. So uh, machine learning classifier is one of the best answers for that. Okay, so to how to configure that is before getting into Studio, we'll take a look at the AI Fabric. So I have a project created over here. Don't worry about all these datasets and packages I have. Just focus on the steps I do. So the first thing is I need to create a folder under datasets to hold the data we are passing to train the model. So I will say uh, document classification. So this can be a name, can be any name, as you know. So in this folder, we are not going to create anything. It will get created automatically through our UiPath Studio workflow. So we created the folder, and now we are going back to UiPath Studio, and I already have a taxonomy created for invoices, account creation forms, and purchase orders. Uh, and in these dependencies, you have to use, let me, yeah, you have to use the latest version of UiPath document understanding ML activities and intelligent OCR activities. So I'm currently using the latest preview. If you do not see this preview over here, click on this filter and select this include pre-release, and this will get visible to you. So after you install these two, next comes the normal sequence of activities that we usually use when it comes to document understanding workflows. So I already have the load taxonomy, and I have a for each loop for each loop to loop through a set of files. So I have the files over here. These are some of the purchase orders and invoices and account creation forms. So I will loop through that and I will do the digitized document. And for the initial step, because we need to pass the data to AIFabric to train the AI model, I'm using the classified document scope with intelligent keyword classifier. So over here I have trained it for a couple of documents, and I'm using that for all three. And I already have a present classification station to verify the result, and this is the part that's going to change. So as the first step, we are going to use the train classifier scope. So you are already familiar with this activity, and we are using the output of this present classification station as the human validated classification data, and using that, now is the point where we use the new activity. We have a new activity called machine learning classifier trainer. This activity, and I'm using that over here, and it will ask for ML skills, so we don't have any skills as of now, so I will just cancel it, and I need to click on this refresh, and I'm going to select the project that I have in my AIFabric. So if you have a couple of projects, you will see more than one. So I only have one. It's document understanding, and that's the name you see over here. And then I need to select the dataset. So in my dataset, there are a couple of folders. As you see over here, I have several other folders, and this is the folder we created. And I'm using that folder to train the classifier. Doing that, I will click on configure classifiers, and I will apply this for all three. And for each type of document, I need to specify a folder name. So the name you provide over here will get applied in AIFabric. So for example, if I say invoices here, this folder name will get created under this document classification folder, and then I'm going to give another name for account creation form, and also for purchase order. So make sure you don't specify any spaces. If you need to use spaces, use a character like this, and I will click on save. So we are ready to upload the data. So I will run this, and let's see the output. So it's running in the background. So we have a couple of documents. It will take a little while because we need to manually specify that as well. Okay, so you are familiar with these steps, and we already get the classification from intelligent keyword classifier. So let's save it. You just need to keep on doing that for all the documents, As long as you have a well-trained classifier, it should be easy. So this is just for the learning purpose. So as that got executed, if you check the document classification, you could see a new folder, account creation form, and under that you can see the text representation of the document. So likewise, all the files that you process will get uploaded to this particular folder. And this is another type. And we have another invoice. So in this one, we have two different documents. One is an invoice and one is a purchase order. Let's change that. So let's change this as an invoice and this as a purchase order. And after training, we'll see how this gets identified properly. Yeah, so I'll save it. So all the manually verified data uh, will be used to train the classifier, and that data will be uploaded to AIFabric. This is another invoice. And this is another one. So couple of more documents are left. So to do a training properly, you need to have at least 2 documents for each type. If you have less than that, your training pipeline in AIFabric will fail. And this has not got identified, so we'll specify that as invoice. And this is another purchase order. So I think we are getting close to the last document. There's another one. Yep, I think this is the last document. It's an invoice. Okay, so that part has ended. So going back to the document classification in AIFabric, now we see 3 different folders. In account creation form, we have 2 files, and in invoices, we have more than 2, and for purchase orders, we also have 2 files over here. Okay, so we have uploaded the data. If you actually download one, and let's see what kind of output we have there. So you can see the text representation of the entire document. So this is the data that it will be using to train the AI model. Okay, so now the next thing is we need to create a ML package to train using this data. And under ML packages, if you go to out of the box packages, you will see if you go inside UiPath Document Understanding, you will see a new package called Document Classifier. We will use that, and we'll be using the 2.0 version because it's the available version, and you can see it's a retrainable uh, model. So I will click on submit, and I will say scale document classifier. You can provide any name. I will keep these configurations as it is. Okay, so we have an undeployed ML package that we can train. So next thing is we are going to go for pipelines, and we are going to create a new pipeline to train this package we created using the data we have in this document classification folder. Going into pipelines, I will create a new pipeline with the type as train, and I'll be selecting the package as scale document classifier, which I just created. The version is 2, this is 0, and we'll be selecting the input data set as document classification because this is the folder we created to train the data. And finally, I will select run now and just click on create. So you can see it's the status as packaging. So this will take a couple of minutes to execute. So after packaging, it should turn into running state. Yeah, so this will take a couple of minutes. So I will pause the video for now and we'll get back after this completes. Okay, so we have the pipeline. It was created successfully, and we have the trained version of the package now. And the next thing is, using this trained package, we are going to create a new ML skill. So I will navigate to ML skills, and yeah, and create a new one. Okay, so before that, if we go to ML packages, and if we click on this, you can see there are two versions. So originally this was the version I created, and this is the trained version 2.1, and this is the version that I'm going to use to create my skill. So I will click on create and skill classifier, so skill document classifier, package version is the skill document classifier is my package 2 and 1 because I'm going to use 2.1, and I will click on create, and you can see that new version 2.1 is being deployed, and this will also take a couple of minutes, so let's wait until that's complete. So, and now we have the skill available, and the next part is, so we have done everything in AIFabric, and we have the skill ready to be used in our workflows. Getting back to Studio, now instead of using the intelligent keyword classifier over here, we can simply remove this, and I will just copy the key just in case. We can remove the intelligent keyword classifier, and instead of that, I'm going to use machine learning classifier. So earlier we used the machine learning classifier trainer over here, and now I'm going to use the machine learning classifier to predict the document type, and you will get a message like this. Click on OK and can refresh and select the machine learning scale for classification. So this is the scale that we created, and the API key, we can paste it and click on get arguments, and then you have that available, and all you need to do is click on configure classifiers, and right here for these three document types we are going to use it. And you can see when I click on this tick, it highlights it as a in a red square. So what you need to do is you need to select from this drop down which type of classifier you need to use for each type. So we train the model for three different types, and those three types are available in this drop down. So for invoices, I'm going to use invoice, account creation, and the purchase order, and click on save. So now you have created that and you are ready to use it. So let's see whether it predicts the document type properly based on what we trained. So in each run, you can use this train classifier scope with machine learning classifier trainer to update each document into AIFabric and create a pipeline, schedule it to train the module continuously based on the data you process so that it can improve the accuracy over the time. So by having it like this, I can simply save it and run it for the same set of files. Let's see how it predicts the data. So you can see it's running from the output panel, and for some documents the OCR part takes a little bit of more time. Okay, so you can see that it has executed. Okay, so uh, this document has not got recognized, so we can do the training. So it's just one round of training that we did, but when it comes to proper training, it gives you a more accurate result, and we have to train it with more documents to give a proper result in that case. So yeah, let's see how it rates the other documents. So ideally you get the idea on how to use it and how to build a workflow using machine learning classifier to classify your documents using a machine learning model. So that's the idea of this video. And here we have the next one, and it has identified the classification properly. So better, higher the number of samples that you use to train, the better the result you get. So every time when you run this, it will get trained as I explained earlier. So this has identified as invoices with 88% accuracy or the confidence level. And this one again, it has not identified, so let's mark it. Yeah, so with the next round of training, this thing will get identified properly, I believe. So it just needs some more training. And this has identified. And this is also correct. And this is right. Yeah, so that's how the model works. And I think this is the last document. No, it's not. And this is the next one. So you can see that it's identifying the documents properly. So what you can do is, once you do the test with a couple of documents, you can try a different set of documents and see how it identifies the new set of documents to actually get the result. So this is the last document, and you can see that it's identified properly. Okay, so that's how you use the new uh, machine learning classifier and the machine learning classifier trainer. I believe you got the idea on how to train the new classification model that we have in AIFabric. So try it out, enjoy, and share your thoughts as well. Thanks for watching.